Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Williams, founder and president of CreditRepairShop.com. It has been a long holiday, and we're going to be pushing forward. Got a lot of rest over the last 5 or 6 or almost 7 days, 6 days, however many days it was. Did not do much, uh, but I did look at the comments, and I was looking at YouTube and looking at what people were thinking about over the holidays. And I know that holidays make it very stressful. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about in today's video and over the next few days and all the way up to the first of the year, I'm going to really be concentrated on helping you get that credit repaired, get out of debt, start thinking more in a positive manner, think more about yourself, so you're able to help more people, because that's where it starts with. And part, like just with most things, it just seems like it always comes down to credit. Like it's like you're either going to have personal issues, and then that's going to leak into your life, or you're going to have financial issues, and then that's going to leak into your life. It's like all these arteries that could lead into making you have not be able to live your life the way that you want it to live. One of the biggest questions that I always get, and I used to get this a lot before I started concentrating on YouTube. We would get a lot of calls from customers and emails, and it was about trade lines. They were like, "Are trade lines legal? What are they? Could you please tell me 100% what a trade line is, because we trust you. You're going to tell us the truth about it, and we won't. If you don't know, will you please research it 100%?" And back then, I admit I did not know much about. I knew what trade lines are, which I'm going to explain in this video, but I did not really get into getting trade lines placed on people's credit reports. And it is a legal way to increase your credit scores. A lot of people do it. I'm going to go over the do's and don'ts, what you got to watch out for when you're looking at doing trade lines. But trade lines are 100% legal. As a matter of fact, I have several company cards for all of my businesses. And one of the first things that they always ask me is, do you want to have someone put on as an authorized user? So first, let's talk about what a trade line is. A trade line is the actual information that's on your credit reports. If you look at your credit reports, and if you don't have them, there's a link below here so you can go and get them, and you can look at the different trade lines that you have. These are credit people that have offered you credit, and they've placed that information on your credit reports. Now, there's different types of trade lines. You could have a trade line for your cable bill, your electric bill. You can have trade lines for credit cards. They all have different values, if you so to speak, for what type of points you're going to get for them. When you have your electric bill and you make your electric bill payments on time, your balances are not going past due, you do get points for that. Over time, you will get points for that. But the biggest trade lines, the biggest ones that you could get, are credit ones, and it comes from credit cards. I've seen this personally on from my level, because for years my credit scores were stuck in like the 700s to 720s. It just floated in between there. And there was something that happened when I was on a trip, because for years I did not have any credit cards. I had just used debit cards. And the rent-a-car company that we were with changed their rules, and they said you can't use a debit card to rent a car anymore. And I was like, oh my Lord. And my son-in-law was with us, and he ended up using his credit card, so we were able to get the rent-a-car. This was it was embarrassing, but that's their rules. So immediately that day, even while I was out of town on that trip, I told my wife we're going to get credit card. So we ended up getting American Express, and we ended up getting a Bank of America card. And one of the things that happened right away is that it shot the credit score all the way up. I was just looking at mine now, and it's close to 800. It's not at 800 yet, but it's close to 800. This was from way years ago, but it shot the score all the way up when we did that. And the reason why it does that is because what they do is that when you get a credit card, they judge that as a different level on your credit reports. But there's ways that you can end up getting in trouble by having that credit card on your credit reports, even though you're making the payments and you're not in trouble with it. Because what they're going to do is they're going to base it off of your usage. So first, let's get into different techniques that are being used right now to get people to increase your scores, which is to have a trade line placed on there and have you as an authorized user on an account. You could do this from a friend, a family member. There are companies that sell that service. My company also sells the service. And basically what it is there's going to be a credit card placed in your name, and what it's going to have your name on it, but you're an authorized user. You don't control the card. No one's going to give you that card so you could use it. But what happens is when the company gets that card, they do a transaction on there, and once they do that, that good history that was on the card holder, the main card holder's account information, that track record maps over to your credit reports, and it will zoom your score up. Depending on the situation of your credit right now, it can jump. I've seen it jump personally from different clients from 50 to 150 points. Now, so again, what that is someone gets your information. They're gonna have to put your social security, your home address, all of your information on their credit card and put you down as an authorized user. And then then they'll get the card. They're not gonna give it to you. And then what happens then is they'll do a charge, and once that charge is done on that card, all of the history will map over to your credit reports, and it will, depending on the situation of your credit scores, it will jump your credit scores. I've seen 50 to 150 points jump. The process usually takes about 20 to 25 days depending on the card. Now, the things that you got to watch out for when doing this, and also usually companies are only going to allow you to be an authorized user for about 3 to 6 months. That's the norm. We do them for 3 months. You can pay more to go longer than that. People usually do this to jump their score so they can get a credit card in their name, and then or to go and get something that they needed a higher credit score for, to get lower interest rates, and then they're taken off as an authorized user. So usually on average it's 3 months the most, but I've seen some for 6 months. We do 3 months. So it's the things that you got to watch out for, which is what has happened with people that I've seen this happen to. Let me, first of all, you do not make the payments for that person if you're using their account as an authorized user. You do not make their payments for them. One of the clients that we had for credit repair, they had said, "Oh, I have an authorized user account with someone," and we were like, "The number one, the balances are way too high, and then they're not making their payments on time." And they're like, "Yeah, because I'm sending them the money and they're paying the payments later." No, you're not. That is not how this works. That is absolutely not how it works. You're never going to be able to use the card, and that person who is the main account holder of that card is fully responsible for all of the charges and making the payments on there in a timely manner. And these are not a new card. Like, they didn't get a new card just to be able to have you as an authorized user on the account. This is someone that should have years of payment history very good payment history, very low balance history, and they're making timely payments to that card. That should already be established. This is not something that they should start doing when they put you on as an authorized user. And definitely you don't make the payments for them. Now, different, you can ask a friend or family member to do it. You should check that payment history that they've done, that they've been making, to make sure that it is legit, that they don't have any late payments, because that will affect your credit. You don't want to be placed as an authorized user and then all of a sudden you're like, you have bad payment history and a high balance. You just made my credit score go down. You made it worse. So you don't want to do that. We show you the track record of the cards that we use, and they're all cards controlled by my company, so you don't have to worry about having someone else that, like most of these companies, they get other people and they're like third parties in between, or middlemen in between, and you don't know if you're really getting a good card that you're going to be using for be an authorized user on. So you got to watch out for high balances. You have to watch out for high balances, because that'll hurt. The way that your points, the way that you get more points for having a credit card is, and this is if you're an authorized user or if you had the card yourself, is you should not use more than 30% of the available balance on that card. You don't have to pay the card off every month. As a matter of fact, that can actually work against you, but it doesn't if you use it and you pay it every month. It'll you're going to still have a good record. So if you pay it off every month, you do need to use it every month. You can't pay it off one month and then don't use it another month, and then, because it won't show any type of balance on any payments that you're using it like a credit account. So you want to make sure that they have good payment history, no late payments. Make sure that they don't have high balances, because that's going to work against you. And you want to make sure that they really control the card. You need to ask a lot of questions about who is the card coming from. Make them prove to you, like we do with our authorized user. We show you the track record so you can see that you're going to be getting placed on a card that has very good history. So if you have any questions about Tradelines, post them in your comments here. Please like this video. These are very informative videos for you, because there's a lot of different options that people start seeking to increase their credit scores, to repair their credit. And this is just one piece of the puzzle that you could use once you got your credit repaired, or if your credit is so-so and you just need to get it jumped so you can get a new car, so you can get your own credit card. This is an option that you can use to get yourself into that position. If you need help, go to our website, thecreditrepairshop.com. If you need your credit scores and to look at your credit to see where you're at, there's a link below this video. Go to the number 3creditscores.com, and you can get all 3 credit scores, all 3 credit reports. It shows you all of the information on there, public records, everything. Personal data. You need to know everything. The free services that are out there, they're not going to give you all of the information that you need to repair your credit. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done that. Share, like the videos. Go through all of my videos and check out the different tips and strategies that I talk about to help you repair your credit. So now to close out the video, let's talk about thinking positive. One of the things that I do every night, my wife and I do this every night, and you do, if you're married, you got to have both, you and your spouse have to be on the same page, or things are just not going to, it's going to be hard to make them work out. I'm not going to say that it's impossible. You got to be on the same page. And one thing that we do every night is we listen to positive audios. We go to sleep listening to those positive audios, because when you sleep, your defenses come down And if you leave anything on that's negative, if you had a TV on, if you're listening to the radio, maybe you're listening to a radio show, you will find that in the morning, you will remember things when you wake up or later through the day. You will remember things and you'll be like, where did I learn that from? Where did I hear that? That you heard it by when you left that radio on and your subconscious mind was wide awake and you heard it and you recorded it and your subconscious mind kept playing it. It could be you could be listening to a nice radio show or listening to a music radio, and then they had a news report that came on and something happened and they reported it, and you're wondering, how did you even know about that? Or you felt like you knew about it, like you heard it on later days news, but you're thinking to yourself, you heard that information somewhere. And that's where you heard it. Is your subconscious mind is always awake, so you have to be very careful about what you let into it. Of course, you can't stop everything from going in there, but what you can do is you can put information in there intentionally. Put what you want in there. So what my wife and I do, we go to bed and we listen to audios that are talking about positive, thinking positive, things that feed into us on helping us visualize and feel and be healthy. And that comes into us, and then when you wake up in the morning, you feel refreshed. You have a different mindset when you wake up, and this is what you need to start doing. If you want, you can post, you can put some comments below here, and I'll tell you what different audios that we listen to. This stuff is very important because every year around this time, people start talking about doing all of these New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to go for my goals and do this and that. We do this on a yearly basis. My wife and I, we set goals. We do things to think positive on a daily basis. We don't wait till the end of the year to start ourselves over again. No. Yes, it does. We do get to a heightened state during this time of the year because we want to look back over the last year to see the progress, even though we look at our progress all the time, but just from habit, from what everyone does, and we're not different than other people, is that we look at what we've done over the past year every year at this time also to see if we had really put in the work, the time, the mental thought to get into where we want to be. And you should do the same thing, but don't wait to the end of the year to do that. Do that stuff now. Do it on a daily basis. Make the changes now. There's no time better than right now to do these things. So thank you for your time. Please share, and I hope the information is very valuable to you. We're going to be back on our regular schedule for the videos, so it's going to be more videos popping out on a weekly basis. And if you need help, please reach out to us, thecreditrepairshop.com. And thank you for your time.